On June 1, 2017, then United States President Donald Trump announced that the U.S. would cease all participation in the 2015 Paris Agreement on climate change mitigation, contending that the agreement would undermine the U.S. economy and put the U.S. at a permanent disadvantage. In accordance with Article 28 of the Paris Agreement, a country cannot give notice of withdrawal from the agreement within the first 3 years of its start date in the relevant country, which was on November 4, 2016. In the case of the United States, the White House later clarified that the U.S. will abide by the 4-year exit process. On November 4, 2019, the administration gave a formal notice of intention to withdraw, which takes 12 months to take effect. Until the withdrawal took effect, the United States was obligated to maintain its commitments under the agreement, such as the requirement to continue reporting its emissions to the United Nations. The withdrawal took effect on November 4, 2020, one day after the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Trump's decision to withdraw the U.S. was backed by many Republicans but was strongly opposed by Democrats. Trump's decision to withdraw was strongly criticized in the U.S. and abroad by environmentalists, some religious organizations, business leaders, and scientists. A majority of Americans opposed withdrawal. Following Trump's announcement, the governors of several U.S. states formed the U.S. Climate Alliance to continue to advance the objectives of the Paris Agreement at the state level despite the federal withdrawal. As of July 1, 2019, 24 states, American Samoa, and Puerto Rico have joined the alliance, and similar commitments have also been expressed by other state governors, mayors, and businesses. Trump's withdrawal from the Paris Agreement will impact other countries by reducing its financial aid to the Green Climate Fund. The termination of the $3 billion U.S. funding will ultimately impact climate change research and decrease society's chance of reaching the Paris Agreement goals, as well as omit U.S. contributions to the future IPCC reports. Trump's decision will also affect the carbon emission space as well as the carbon price. The U.S.'s withdrawal will also mean that the spot to take over the global climate regime will be obtainable for China and the EU. Following the 2020 presidential election, President-elect Joe Biden vowed to rejoin the Paris Agreement on his first day in office. Once inaugurated, Biden signed an executive order to rejoin the agreement on January 20, 2021. The country formally rejoined on February 19, 2021. Global carbon dioxide emissions by country in 2015. The Paris Agreement was an addition to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, initially agreed to by all 195 countries present at the 2015 United Nations Climate Change Conference in December of that year, including the United States then under the presidency of Barack Obama. Due to the status of the United States and China as the greatest emitters of carbon dioxide, Obama's support and his cooperation with China were seen as major factors leading to the convention's early success. The main aim of the agreement is to hold the increase in the global average temperature to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, predominantly by reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The agreement differs from the 1997 Kyoto Protocol, the last widely adopted amendment to the UNFCCC, in that no annexes are established to lessen responsibility of developing nations. Rather, emissions targets for each nation were separately negotiated and are to be voluntarily enforced, leading United States officials to regard the Paris Agreement as an executive agreement rather than a legally binding treaty. This removed the requirement for the United States Congress to ratify the agreement. In April 2016, the United States became a signatory to the Paris Agreement and accepted it by executive order in September 2016. President Obama committed the United States to contributing $3 billion to the Green Climate Fund. The fund has set itself a goal of raising $100 billion a year by 2020. Article 28 of the agreement enables parties to withdraw from the agreement after sending a withdrawal notification to the depository. but notice can be given no earlier than 3 years after the agreement goes into force for the country. Withdrawal is effective 1 year after the depository is notified. Alternatively, the agreement stipulates that withdrawal from the UNFCCC, under which the Paris Agreement was adopted, would also withdraw the state from the Paris Agreement. The conditions for withdrawal from the UNFCCC are the same as for the Paris Agreement. On November 8, 2016, 4 days after the Paris Agreement entered into force in the United States, Donald Trump of the Republican Party was elected President of the United States. Many conservative Republicans dispute the level of human involvement in climate change.